So, welcome to day 15 of Video Blog a Day. And of course, I missed yesterday's. Totally had every intention on getting it done, but I had some stuff around the house to take care of, and then all of a sudden, I get cramps like, I don't know, it was like the vengeance and fury of 50 million angry women all on their periods all at once. And I was just like, I don't know how bitches deal with this shit once a month. And I get it, I know it's a different type of cramp. I'm dealing with an actual muscle cramp. You guys are dealing with, I don't know, ghetto hood fights going on in your uterus. But at any rate, that pretty much left me doing nothing for the night. I mean, I was done. I couldn't even move. But anyhow, on to today. Basically, I'm just going to go over what we did yesterday. And there's something else I want to talk about, which is the simple fact that bullying has taken yet another young person's life, and it's kind of ridiculous. So we'll start with good stuff, I guess, yesterday. So, as you all know from Saturday, we took down the closet in the office, and now all my desk and stuff is down there, which is great. Makes it really convenient for being able to move my computer around and stuff like that. And I at least get to feel like I'm still in the same living space with everybody else, and I'm no longer working out of the closet. So that's great. But now my space in the closet is free and open. So what did we do yesterday? Well, we went to Dick's Sporting Goods and I picked up a weight bench, just regular size. It seems a little smaller, which is fine for the space that we're putting it in. 300 pounds of Olympic weights with a big ass bar. I need to find a shorter bar. The bar is just way too big. And some pads and stuff for the floor. So when I get home tonight, main reason why I'm doing the video now, when I get home after work, I'm going to be putting all of that stuff together and getting my exercise area ready for me. I've been using the weight machine downstairs, but it's a machine, one, and I actually need free weights, not a machine. And two, there are spiders down there. No, sorry, I can't deal. So that was what happened earlier during the day yesterday. And then, of course, we had some friends come by for dinner and then cramps. Fun. But now on to the real meat of this issue. Bullying. This has been a really big hot topic lately, and I'm going to try to get this all done in one shot. It's been a really big hot topic lately, and I think there really isn't, there can't be too many of us that don't know what it's like to be bullied. Now, me personally, I'm kind of a hard ass about this type of shit. I kind of grew up in a house where if I got beat up and my mom came and found me beat up all on the ground, all huddled up and crying and stuff, she was like, I'm not going to find you crying because somebody whooped your ass. You're going to have to learn how to fight. You have to learn how to defend yourself. And that's pretty much what happened. I learned how to defend myself. And then, of course, you learn how to read people. And if you do it in the right way, in the right setting, you get everyone else on your side and no one is on the bully side. And then the bully ends up looking like a douchebag. You end up being a hero. Happened every now and then. The mouth was able to get me out of some stuff. But, I kind of got lucky. My size, my color, I'm not even going to trip. My size, my color sort of protected me and kept me from being harassed too much. Not to say that any harassment is a good thing, because I was harassed, and I was harassed a lot. I know exactly what depression is like. I know what it feels like. In fact, I still deal with the aftermath of it. And it's all too easy to tell kids to not care about what other people are saying to you and not care what other people are doing. And it's really easy to say that, but it's very difficult to do. It seems to be a talent that we try to get as adults. And most adults who are mature have that ability. It's not my business what you think about me or what you got to say about me. I don't give two flying fucks. I'm going to do me. And that's something that you come to later on in life. But for these kids, I just don't understand it. So basically this girl, I think it was like a month or a year or something after making a video, putting her story out there. She was in 7th grade and, doing crazy stuff. And, we all did crazy stuff in 7th grade. And she, flashed her boobs online and some guy took a picture and stalked her with it. He knew all of her friends. He knew her school. He knew her family's names. He was on her Facebook. It got really nasty. She had to move and changed schools a few times. Each time she changed schools, the guy would find her, post up all these pictures, and then of course, like a bunch of fuckhead ass lemmings, the kids would go and turn on this girl, not even knowing her, which, says a lot about how we as parents in this world, because this took place in Canada, so don't think that, this doesn't take place other places. But what are parents teaching their children where they feel that it's okay to do something like this? Where they feel that it's okay to not stand up for your own beliefs? Because if you did and you stood up for what was right and what was wrong, you wouldn't allow for people to, bully other people. That was my stand. My stand was, hey, I don't like watching little people get bullied, and I know what it's like to get bullied. So when I was, a teenager and grew, it was very much like, hey, you bully some little kid, I'm gonna bully you, and that's just the way it goes. I gave myself the role of karma, because you know what? If it wasn't meant to happen, it wouldn't happen. So if they were sitting around here bullying some other kid, they got exactly what they deserved. I gave them exactly what they dished out, and most times they didn't like it. Most times they actually left the kid alone after a while. Um, but fighting, of course, blah 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 is not the answer, yada yada. But that's not reality. A lot of people go, yeah, but it should be. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, isn't. The reality of the fact is that we really do need to teach our kids a lot about self-defense. Self-defense both physically, mentally, and verbally. They need to understand that, physical altercations are a last resort, not a first. Physical altercations are only in terms of defending yourself, not in terms of hurting somebody else. And a lot of times these kids need to learn how to defend themselves. They're not out there picking fights. These fights are coming to them. They need to learn how to defend themselves. And I really do think that parents should be taking a lead on teaching your children how to not treat other people, but also preparing them for real world. I mean, in the real world, someone can literally just walk up and punch you in the damn face. They can and they will. It has happened. So to not be able to defend yourself that also kind of hurts your self-esteem, like when someone is doing something to you and there's nothing that you can do to combat it. So, for sake of self-esteem, for sake of teaching your children how to stand up for themselves, stand up for what they believe in, and stand up against violence towards themselves, I think a lot would be changed in terms of kids' self-esteem and everything else. That being said, I don't know who the hell this was that was doing this to this poor little girl, and in all reality, needs to be strung up by the goddamn neck and beat with a stick like a frickin' human piñata. And that's really what I would do with their asses at this point, because I'm kind of sick of seeing this. Think about what we're seeing. We're seeing kids killing themselves over being bullied. We're seeing gays be set on fire. That was like, what, last year, all the way up through. Gays being set on fire because they're... Why? Why do you feel the need to bully someone else because they're different than you? But most people can never answer that question, or are too afraid to answer that question. I'll answer it for you. You're bullying other people because you hate yourself. That's it. Plain and simple. You feel like you've been victimized, or you feel like you have no control over your own life, so you decide you want to go and control someone else. Get help. And for all you kids out there dealing with it, that whole "it gets better" thing, it's true. But like I said before, you're the one who gets better. You're the one who ends up, developing other skills in order just to cope. You're the ones who grow up and end up with everything you ever wanted. And you can't realize any of that reality unless you come through this horrible, horrible portion of your own life. That's horrible. But every single day that you get up is one extra day stronger that you are. Every day that you go in, regardless of what they say, is one extra day that you are stronger. It's one extra blow to them to know that they can't control you. They cannot get you to do what they want you to do. That they're failures. And seeing something like this, and seeing this girl's story, and just, finding out that, it led to all sorts of shit, depression and drugs and everything else. Yeah, did she take the picture? Of course she did, but she was also in 7th grade. Does she really need to, have this type of shit? dealt with on a daily. Think about all the crazy, nasty shit that we all did. Think about all the crazy, nasty shit that we all still do. You can't judge someone in hopes of hiding your own sin. You can't do it. It doesn't make sense, and all it really does is shine an even bigger light on you, because people are going to want to know why you're doing it. And they're just going to dig and find that, oh, you're a depraved piece of shit who needs to beat up on other people in order to feel worthy. I don't care what your daddy did to you or what your mama did to you. You made the decision to be an asshole. Nobody else did. So I don't know what it is that we can do to stop this bullying shit. The teachers are starting to piss me off, mostly because they're too scared to touch a kid because they're afraid that they're going to get sued. I'm sorry, if you're teachers need to have the right to whoop a kid's ass if they have to. It worked for years. Everyone's worrying about, oh, there's no prayer in school. Fuck prayer in school. The real problem is the simple fact that teachers ain't whooping kids' ass anymore. Back when teachers were whooping kids' asses, most kids didn't act the fuck up. The other thing is that most people tend to think, well, I dealt with bullying as a teenager and I came out of it okay. Not everybody comes out of it okay, apparently. And the bullying has gotten worse, especially with social media. Before, you could leave school and there was an escape. You were home. You were safe. Now there is no escape. You go home, you're still not safe. All of your stuff online and everything else, social media, you're not safe anymore. So now you have nowhere to go. Bullying today is a lot worse than bullying was when we were kids and when our parents were kids. And we need to put a stop to it. The parents of kids doing the bullying, realize that your kid is not an angel, your kid is not perfect, and that your kid is doing this shit. And because your kid is doing this shit, you as a parent need to step in and tell them to knock it the fuck off. Because if they don't, they're going to find out what it's like to have you stick a foot up their ass instead of them sticking their foot up other people's asses. And if you don't, one day your kid's going to bully the wrong kid. And that kid is going to either A, whoop his ass, which is what he deserves and what he probably needs. Or B, is going to kill him. Not kill himself, but kill the bully. So for the sake of your own children's lives, gain some control over these little bastards. Really. And for the parents of kids being bullied, listen to them. Don't dismiss it. Understand that there's something going on and that it needs to stop. Do whatever it takes to make sure that your children feel secure, feel safe, feel loved, and know that people love them. And sure, self-esteem booster. If you want to say, hey, you know what? You want to go to a karate class? Take them to one. That karate class does not teach them how to beat people up. It teaches them restraint. It teaches them control. It teaches them self-worth. It teaches them to value themselves. And it also teaches them how to defend themselves if they have to. You don't want your kid ending up like the little light-skinned girl on World Star now, do you? I didn't think so. So with that said, this is the end of day 15 for this video at least. Don't forget to like me on Facebook at Brutal Lynx Bear. You can also find me on Twitter at Lynx Bear. And you can also check out the website at brutallynx.com. I will put I'll put a link to the poor girl's story. Of course, it was on World Star. I need to stop going to that site. It's rotting my brain. So yeah, tonight, putting stuff together, getting it all worked out. So you guys have a good one, and I will talk to you later. Oh, and don't forget, there will be a quick fix. Probably of all the setup. Man, I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll figure out a quick fix to make up for not having a video yesterday. So yeah, love yourselves, love your friends, live life, do what you got to do, laugh it up. Don't bully anybody else. And if somebody bullies you, hand it right back to their asses. First with your voice, then if you have to, defend yourself. Peace out, guys.